This winter has been really rough, and so rough that I've contemplated moving away down south. And then I started thinking, like, how would I start Uber driving in a new city? Hi, my name is Levi Spires. This is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. The Daily Drive podcast is brought to you by the GigU app. So, like I said, this winter has been really, really rough. Like, so rough. Syracuse has gotten 127 inches of snow, and we're not even through February yet. We get snow into April. And a couple days ago, I slipped and fell on some ice. My back is killing me. And while I was writhing in pain, laying on the ground, I was thinking about maybe it's time to move south, move to Florida. No, I'm not going to move to Florida. But if I did, how would I start Uber driving again? That's the thing I started thinking about, and that's what this podcast today is going to be about. And now I've got like 6 years of Uber driving experience. In fact, on the 21st is my 6-year anniversary. I've done almost 15,000 trips on Uber alone. If I put all the other apps together, I've done well over 15,000 trips. So I have some experience, and I was thinking, like, what are the steps? How would I go about doing it? Now, I guess the first thing I would do is I would master my neighborhood. I would want to know what rides are coming in and around basically the 1 to 10 mile, maybe not 10 mile, 5 mile radius around my neighborhood. Now, I don't know where I would move, but if I were to move to, Miami, I don't know, Tampa, Jacksonville, I'm picking Florida cities out, but wherever, if I were to move south, Charlotte, wherever, I would move to a neighborhood, and I would want to understand what are the rides, if I turn the app on at my house, what trips exist. And I would do that for a good week. I would just want to understand how it works around I wouldn't go far. Now, I know I'm compromising a little bit of money because I'm sure there's better money to be made somewhere else, but I at least want to understand how does it work around my house. The second thing I would do is I would learn where to avoid. I would try to find where are the high crime neighborhoods, where are the places where I'm going to get stuck in traffic, whatever it might be. I would want to avoid those places. A good example is here in Syracuse. As much as I love a lot of the places on Erie Boulevard, but if you're an Uber driver, you kind of know what I mean. Erie Boulevard, James Street, South Geddes, they can be like streets that you get stuck on. And so I try to avoid them. Now, that doesn't mean I don't pick up or drop off in those places. I just try not to go up and down those streets. I try to get onto Interstate 690. That's inside baseball for you non-Syracuse Uber drivers. So, but you know what I mean. I just try to avoid them. Now, here's the third thing, and this is probably the most important thing. And this is the thing that you can do today if you're an Uber driver in any other city. I assume with DoorDash or Lyft, you can do the same thing. But turn the app on in your spot where you think you're going to start driving, and just start rejecting rides. Do it for an hour. Do it for a whole day. Take screenshots of them. Calculate and understand what rides are coming in and which ones, are good, the cherries, and which ones to reject. And this is why I like the GigU app, by the way. Shout out to GigU as a sponsor. The great thing is the GigU app automatically takes screenshots of all of the rides that you take. And then it also gives you a list of all the rides that are good and bad based upon your criteria. But doing this analysis, getting an understanding of the highs and the lows in a given period of time, you kind of understand which rides you can accept and which rides you can reject. I did a video on this. It's by far the most popular video on my YouTube channel today. It's basically where I sat parked for a couple of hours. Well, actually, I didn't park. I drove up and down Interstate 690, and I took screenshots of every single offer that was given to me for a couple of hours. And I got like 184 rides between Trip Radar and exclusive requests. and I got to rank them. I got to see like a statistical bell curve of the where most of the rides sit, the really good sweet cherries, as they say, and the rides I should reject. And so I kind of know now if I'm getting rides that are bad, at least I know what they look like compared to the rides that are good. If I'm in a new city, I don't know what that looks like. I think I should do that experiment again. By the way, I think that'd be a fun experiment just to go and do. And now I know in certain cities, maybe in Florida, for all I know, if you reject rides for a certain period of time, they're going to turn you off. You know, reject you from giving you offers. They're going to turn the app off or whatever. I don't know the best way to do it, but I know for the most part, you as an independent contractor using the Uber app across the nation, for the most part, you should be able to turn the app on and get to an acceptance rate of 0 if you have to. Just sit there and just take a look at all the offers that are coming in, reject them all, and that way you'll know, okay, this is the range of what I'm working with. Okay, what else would I do? I would definitely master the airport. I would spend a day or two just understanding how the airport works. Because, let's be honest, airports are a good function of being an Uber driver. It's kind of the bread and butter. It doesn't mean you should sit there and always work the airport, but you should know how to get in and out of the airport. I like colleges and college towns, so I would find out if there's some colleges around the local area that I could Uber drive and see what that's like. I would also find the bar scene, see what that looks like, scout that out. And now that I've done that, so I've gotten my neighborhood down. I understand the dangerous neighborhoods or the places where there are big high traffic or whatever it might be, and I've kind of understand the range of the offers that are going to come to me in a given period of time. I would then set up my favorites. Now, this is not places where I would pick up and drop off, but now that I know kind of the area, the my neighborhood at least, I would say, okay, where are the best gas stations? The charging spots, Panera Bread for me because I like my free cup of coffee. Now this is home, but you get what I'm saying. Planet Fitness because it's normally open 24 hours, has bathrooms. I would want to find other places where there are bathrooms. Car wash, get the lay of the land, and then on my Google Map or Apple Map or whatever you use, basically have that listed down as favorites. In my Tesla today, that's what I have. So anytime I want to take a break, I just go into the Tesla app and I hit go to Panera. I can actually just tell Grok, take me to the nearest Panera, and turn the Uber app off and put it in full self-drive and let the car take me to exactly where I want to go. So that's pretty cool. So I would have those listed out, and I would call that my hub, my first hub, my neighborhood / airport / couple of places hub. Then I would find another hub. And I would build that out, and then another. I would have 2 or 3 hubs. I would do that. I would master that. So I would master because again, I like being an Uber driver, so I'm doing this through Uber, but you could do it through any app that you want to do. So again, like I say, after I master one hub and create that out, I would create another hub, and that's what I've done here in Syracuse. So for me, hubs are actually cities that I go to. Syracuse is such a small area. But a hub for me in Syracuse is pretty much from Syracuse University to the airport to DeWitt. That's my hub. It's about 5-10 mile radius kind of area. It's not the south side of Syracuse. It's not the west side of Syracuse. It's not Liverpool, even though I might go through Liverpool. I basically want to stay from Syracuse University all the way over to DeWitt, and that's kind of my main hub. My second hub is Ithaca. It's a whole city. It's where Cornell University is. It's where Ithaca College is. It's like 30 some odd thousand people, 20 something thousand students on top of it. And that's my other hub. And I know that place like the back of my hand. I know where, again, all the bathrooms are, all the hot spots. I know the whole place. My next hub, Binghamton, Endicott, that little area there. My next hub, well, I'm not going to start to tell you all my secrets. But you get my point. Those were my hubs. And not only did I know how Uber operates within those places, but I know where I could do Uber Eats and what kind of restaurants I want to go to. And I would master those hubs. And I would just keep doing that. And then once I've got like 2 or 3 hubs, then I would turn on another app and master it. So it would go in that sequence. It would go from my neighborhood which is Casanova today, but let's say I move somewhere south or wherever else. But I would understand what kind of rides I don't get in there. I would understand safety places and traffic places and avoid those because traffic is a killer. Traffic is a killer. Avoid traffic. And then again, a whole day just rejecting rides. I want to see the range of the offers that I might get. And I might do that a couple of different times. Now, if I still need to be a diamond driver or whatever status to get the extra 5% or whatever it might be, then again, that's not in my city, so I don't know what that means, but you know what I mean. I would go build that back up, but that only takes 100 rides. So you could always build that back up, but spend a day, if not a couple of days, different times, seeing what rides are offered. Don't accept anything, no matter how great that ride looks, reject it. Make sure that you know the range of what rides you're going to get. And that's the most important thing you can do. Then, of course, master certain things, understand the best, again, bathrooms are so critical, but car washes, best gas stations, whatever it might be, master that little hub, name that hub number 1, go to hub number 2, hub number 3, build those out, and then start to build out different apps. That's the way I would do it. If you're an Uber driver, does that make any sense to you? If you drive Lyft or DoorDash, hopefully that makes some semblance of sense to you. Now, okay. Let's talk about my ride a couple days ago before I slipped and fell on the ice and hurt my back. Because I haven't been driving. I'm going to drive today. Might go drive a little bit, but tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I've got 2, 3, 4, 12-hour days up ahead of me. So I got some catching up to do. But I had a ride where I had a passenger talk to me about gentrification. Now, that's it could be a little bit of a controversial subject, but that's what his research was in, and it was a great insight into his way of thinking. Now, I'm not here to tell you whether gentrification is good or bad. That's not the point. The point is sometimes passengers will delve into some, what I would say is controversial subjects, like gentrification. Gentrification is a thing where, rich people, rich white people, maybe move into a neighborhood, let's say someplace in Brooklyn, and all the low-income people get booted out of their homes. And that could be a bad thing. I'm not saying dislocation is good or bad, or there's good things that go along with gentrification. New businesses open and stuff like that. So he's talking about the subject, and I'm a curious person, and I want to know more. But I think that's what I recommend for all of my fellow Uber drivers, is to be curious. You don't have to prove that you're right. If you have a different opinion than your fellow passengers, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan and they're a Patriots fan, you don't have to debate with them. And it's natural. It's the tendency for a lot of us, for me especially, would be to debate. But don't debate. Instead, listen and learn and get their perspective. And it was interesting to hear my Uber passengers' perspective on gentrification. And I think where he kind of stumbled himself into was this idea of like, there's nuance. And that's kind of the reality of all aspects of life, isn't it? Is that there is nuance. That, is probably not a good thing for low-income people to have to move farther away from the inner city where they probably do a lot of their jobs. So increasing their commute times. So rich people taking over. But crime goes down, home values increase, businesses open, and there has to be a way to solve that. And I think that's where his research was. And I liked that. I liked hearing his perspective. So that's my recommendation to you as an Uber driver or Lyft or quite frankly, any place in life. You don't have to win. You don't have to be right. If you really want to understand things, even your perspective, strengthen your perspective, listen and learn to what other people are talking about. Now to your questions. Okay, good. Craig says, GigU, as I recall, doesn't work on iPhones. Has that changed? No. I am working with GigU, and I have had to shift to a second phone that uses an Android phone. And I've been using iPhones for 20 years, and it's really complicated. I'm swiping up when I'm supposed to be hitting buttons, and I'll figure it out. But for now, I am looking at my Android phone right over there. Now I'm using an Android phone for Uber. It's really not that complicated because I put my phone up there and I mount it on my dashboard, and once you get in the habit of using it, after a couple hours, it's not a big deal. It's like all the other functions, from the camera to how do I get these screenshots off of my phone onto my Mac computer. I don't know. So, but the team at GigU, I can tell you that they understand that as a challenge. But for now, yeah, you're gonna have to get an Android, but it works. It totally works, and it's great. It's a great way. GigU is to basically make sure you're always picking the best trips. It's simplified trip picking for me in a way I've never thought about before. I used to I thought I had the ability to do calculations, but honestly, I'm a sucker for a surge. If I see a $2 surge, I think it's a great ride, or a 5-star passenger. This app makes it simple. So yeah, check it out. Let's see here. John asks, what if we use the Tesla Model 3? And what he's asking is, I compared a bunch of different cars. What is the best car for Uber? I've done 3 or 4 of these videos, and I like it. I love the analysis. But there is no bad car for Uber. And what I mean by that is that the car that you have today is the best car. Because remember, if you go out and buy a car specifically just to do Uber or Lyft or DoorDash in, that car, especially with Uber and Lyft, the requirements for that car might change. So let's say you buy a car, a Tesla Model Y. That's what I have. And you're going to use that car for Uber. And today it qualifies for, I don't know, Uber X and Comfort and Premier or whatever. We don't have any of those things in my area, but whatever. But then tomorrow, Uber can change. Uber can say, no, you know what, that car no longer qualifies for that. But you've made this investment, whether it's a new or used car, it doesn't matter, into that car with the assumption that you're going to be able to make X dollar amount. Which leads me to my second thing is that, hey, guess what? At any point in time, a passenger can falsely accuse you of something. Then you get kicked off the app. And now you've got this car that you bought with the intent for Uber driving. Now, there are some full-time drivers, people like me, that do buy cars, and I do use Uber as an analysis function of that. But I buy cars that I like. I like Tesla. And if I wasn't an Uber driver, I think I would always be a Tesla driver. Part of me buying my Tesla was a function of, hey, Uber's giving me bonuses. I test drove it, but it's more expensive. The Tesla Model Y, the one that I own, is more expensive than buying a $6,000, $10,000 used Prius. I mean, if I had to go buy a car tomorrow, I would buy the cheapest car I could possibly get, because Uber's not going to pay me any more for buying a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 Tesla Y or whatever you're going to spend on it. Same with the Tesla Model 3. It's a great car. It really is. I know a lot of people that are super happy with their Tesla Model 3, but I wouldn't buy one to be an Uber driver, if that makes any sense. So, okay, Michael says, I would like to know how your cost per mile is 28 cents. Are you including the total of gas? No, because I got an electric car. But yeah, electricity, I am including that. Maintenance, depreciation, and insurance, for example. And he goes on to calculate his calculation. Okay. Here's the problem that I have with a lot of Uber drivers using numbers that we all know. Each one of us calculates things differently. So at the time when I made that video, my cost per mile was roughly 28 cents per mile. It is now more like 31 cents per mile. Well, how has it changed? Well, a lot of the variable costs change. Now my depreciation is still the same, 15 cents per mile. That's 300,000 miles. The car's value at that end of that's going to be $6,000, maybe $5,000. So I'm going to depreciate 30,000, give or take, whatever. So I depreciate 15 cents per mile. That's how I calculate it. I can't remember the exact calculation, but I use 15 cents per mile. Maintenance is about 4 cents, but the electricity costs have changed. When I first got my Tesla, I was mainly charging it at home and using almost exclusively that electricity at my house. But over time, now I'm doing longer rides and I'm having to supercharge more. So my cost has gone up 3 cents per mile from 28 cents to 31 cents if I put them all together. But the thing I wanted to kind of talk about with this guy's thing is he's like, hey, insurance. Why is that not a cost per mile? See, that's a fixed cost. It's not a variable cost. Now, I'm not saying insurance isn't a cost. It is a cost, but I don't calculate it by the mile because my miles every month change and my insurance is a monthly expense. In fact, I pay every 6 months for my insurance. So I wouldn't break it down by mile. Depreciation changes by the miles that I use. Electricity, the maintenance, you can break it down by the mile, but that's a variable cost. And insurance is a fixed cost. If I never even drive my car in the month of March, I'll still have an expense the month of March for insurance. Same with my car wash subscription, same with my cell phone bill. So those are over and above, those are fixed costs that I have to pay every single month. And another thing is this, a lot of drivers don't even have insurance for rideshare or any other type of livery type of insurance. A lot of drivers just use their regular insurance. And guess what? They're going to pay that bill regardless whether they're an Uber driver or not. So ultimately, my point is that, hey, we each do accounting a little bit different. I think I do a pretty good job as a cost accountant on what I do to track my expenses. But rest assured, I'm doing something. And I'm just hoping to help other drivers estimate their own costs their own way. Because if I was driving and I was only making $100 a week, I would probably just count gas. I wouldn't even worry about depreciation or maintenance on my car. I would say my cost is whatever I spend on gas. So each one of us does it a little bit different. There's no wrong way to do it. That's Levi's thought. But I appreciate the point, Michael. I'm glad that you're tracking it. Hey, thank you so much to all the sponsors, GigU, Red Tiger, and LaceFit. Please check out their products. They are definitely helping both grow this channel and help me produce this content, but they help me as a driver, especially LaceFit with those mats right now. Hey, right now, winter's such a mess. Having good mats really matters. Drivers, for 2025, I really want you to drive your way. Well, hey, that was my saying for last year. Let's do it for this year. For 2026, I want you to have fun. That's right, I forgot. See, I already forgot. For 2026, I want you to have fun. I know last year for me got to be a grind, but I started doing some fun projects. And so for 2026, I want to have more fun and enjoy the ride. And I hope you do too. I want you to be safe, healthy, and happy. And I want you to know that I'm cheering for you. Be well. Bye.